Salam Media, coming to you live from South Africa.
You are listening to the mid-morning talk on Salam Media. It is 11:55, and I am your host, Maryam Mkwanda, coming to you live from our studios, 92 Xavier Street, Robert Sham, Gauteng. It is 11:55 here once again. You can chat to us on our social media pages. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can also listen to us live by visiting www.salammedia.com. And if you're on Facebook, it's salammedia.com/salammedia. All right. Joining me on the line right now is the National Programs Manager for the Muslim AIDS Program, MAPS, Kaashiefa Cason, who is going to be talking about the National Women and Girls HIV AIDS Awareness Day with the hashtag Stop HIV Together. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Kaashiefa.
Wa alaikum salam, Maryam. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, all good in yourself?
Alhamdulillah, shukr.
All right. So what is this day all about?
So basically, it's about raising awareness on HIV with regard to adolescent girls and young women and their exposure and basically the effects it has on their livelihood and their lives. And yeah, how it just affected them basically.
Mm-hmm. What is this year's theme, and how do we bring that theme to life?
So basically, with regard to the theme, it's combating HIV in adolescent girls and young women.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm just stumbling here a little bit. So it's raising more awareness and getting girls to adhere to treatment, to become aware of HIV and education and the science, and to have a voice, basically. If you look at the contributing factors which affect many of our adolescent girls and young women today, these are factors that can be addressed through community support structures.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. There are still a lot of stigmas attached to HIV and AIDS patients. Please share some of these stigmas, and why do we still have this problem of stigmatization?
Okay, so I'm going to start at the beginning first, Madam, and just
Yeah.
explain to you why we look at adolescent girls and young women.
Mm-hmm.
So services for adolescent girls and young women are especially failing to reach those who are falling the furthest behind.
Mm-hmm.
Adolescent girls and young women who experience gender-based violence, who are sexually exploited, or use drugs, amongst other contributing factors. Again, it's fueled by gender inequalities. Adolescent girls and young women face discrimination. They compound their vulnerability to HIV.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they're largely invisible, underserved, and underrepresented in policy services and investments, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So when girls can't uphold their human rights, especially their sexual and reproductive health rights, efforts to get to zero exclusion, zero discrimination, and zero violence, and even zero stigma is undermined.
Yeah.
So when we look at the contributing factors, and obviously there's influential factors like your behavioral factors, your biological factors, and your structural factors. But before we even look at that, we need to look at our healthcare systems and the lack of access to healthcare services for girls and for adolescent girls and young women. So basically, in some countries, women face significant barriers to accessing healthcare services in terms of these barriers take many forms, including denial of access to services, discrimination from service providers, and these stem around views around female sexuality and poor quality services. Also, procedures relating to women's sexual and reproductive health.
Mm-hmm.
In some health sectors or facilities, sexual reproductive health services cannot be performed without consent. There's even forced sterilization, forced virginity examinations, forced abortions, and also women.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm just cutting. Forced abortions also deter women from accessing services. So in some healthcare service providers, they don't fully understand the laws around childbirth and HIV or have any knowledge or education on how to deal with adolescent girls and young women in terms of sexual reproductive health. So, yeah.
All right. So, what prevention programs are offered, especially for young women and girls?
So, through the Muslim AIDS program, we've got our youth programs. So, with our youth programs, we look at sexual reproductive health, sexuality. We also promote abstinence, basically, and also prevention. So with our education programs, we try to empower women or young girls and give them an understanding of what HIV is, and basically the barriers that they need to overcome to empower themselves, basically.
I came across a tweet where someone was confused about pre-exposure prophylaxis and post-exposure prophylaxis. Can you please elaborate on this so that we can have a better understanding?
Okay, so your pre-exposure prophylaxis is basically the medication taken when before your HIV testing. If you know you are, it's basically the window period, if that's what you want to call it. So your window period is when you've done your HIV test and it's come back negative, but because you have been exposed and your test has come out negative, we would then put you on the pre-exposure prophylaxis. Then your post-exposure would be sorry, I'm confusing you. Your pre-exposure is before you do your HIV test, and your post-exposure is the window period.
Yeah.
Okay. So your pre-exposure again would be your risky behavior before your testing is done. So, and then your post-exposure would be after you've been exposed to the virus during the window period.
And so, can an HIV negative person and an HIV positive person have a child when one of them is positive and the other is negative?
Yes.
And will the child be negative as well? Do these pre-exposure prophylaxis and post-exposure, do they help in any way?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But also remember something. No child is, when a child is conceived, they're not conceived HIV positive. Okay. Again, it's exposure in the womb through a tear or an abrasion or through the birth canal that a child obtains HIV. So there's cases where both parents are HIV positive, but the child is born HIV negative. Again, also with the treatment, remember your viral suppression also contributes to the status of the child.
All right, Kaashiefa, how can people get in touch with the MAP should they require more information?
Okay, so we've got a Facebook page. It's the Muslim AIDS Program. Also, we have our website. It's www.map-sa.org.za. You can check us out on our Facebook page. We have offices in Gauteng, the Northwest, the Western Cape, and in KZN. So if you need to get in touch with us, drop us a mail and we will contact you.
All right, awesome. Shukran for your time, Kaashiefa, and have a wonderful day. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
That was Kaashiefa Cason, the National Programs Manager for the Muslim AIDS Program, taking us through National Women and Girls HIV and AIDS Awareness Day, which takes place on the 10th of March, which is today. in case you did not know. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be crossing over to the Salam Media team who are currently in Braamfontein covering the Wits students protest. Do stay with us.
Connect and stay ahead with Salam Media. This is Salam Media coming to you live from South Africa.
What makes Randery Jewelers the optimum place for your memorable gift? Is it our range of exclusive, high-end, luxurious jewellery? Or is it our master craftsmanship of all your bespoke jewellery needs? We believe it's because at Randery Jewelers, we know just how to make your special moments last forever. Whether it's for a wedding, anniversary, or just a simple gift to show your love, trust Randery Jewelers to make it special. www.randeryjewelers.com. Make your moments last forever with Randery Jewelers, the family name you can trust.
Connect and stay ahead with Salam Media. This is Salam Media coming to you live from South Africa.
It is 6 minutes past 12. You are listening to the Mid-Morning Talk with your host, Maryam Mkwanda. For any comments, questions, queries, or suggestions, send your messages to us on WhatsApp. The number is 061 766 and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram using the hashtag The Mid-Morning Talk. So Wednesday saw chaotic scenes erupt in the Johannesburg CBD when police fired rubber bullets at students who were protesting over fees and registration issues. The students at Wits promised that protests will continue. They are disgruntled over the alleged financial exclusion of some students by NSFAS. Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane is calling on Police Minister Bheki Cele and the SA Human Rights Commission to intervene in the Wits student protests. Let us now cross over to Braamfontein where all right. So we will not be crossing over to Braamfontein, but we will continue with this story, and perhaps you will have a look at it later just to find out, get a bit of background information with it. So that's it, guys. If you have any further comments regarding this year, what are your thoughts on this fees must fall issue?